One of the things that caused the housing crash a few years ago was that people were actually purchasing homes that they really couldn't afford. And there is a way to check to see whether you can afford the home that you're looking at. And that is to actually look at all your bills. So what you do is you take all of your monthly bills and you actually subtract it from your monthly gross income. Now, gross income is your income that you receive not accounting for taxes, so it does not include taxes and it does not include deductions. So So it does not include your deductions. So it's whatever you would make without including those things. So let's say you make, let's do a good round number here, $48,000 a year. If you take 48,000 and you divide it by 12, 48 divided by 12 is 4, so you make $4,000 a month before you think about anything else. So that's your gross income for the month, a monthly income. So you take that gross income and you subtract any monthly bills that will not be paid off in the next 6 months. So all your bills that you're normally going to have, and you're going to need to sit down and think about all the things that you actually pay. You know, do you have internet? Do you have cable? Do you have a car payment? Do you buy gas? All those things, and you subtract them out. So let's say your monthly bills, when you sit down and you think about them, come out to $2,000. So you would subtract that amount out and you would get $2,000. And then you take that amount and you multiply it by 36%, because a house payment should never exceed more than 36% of that final figure. So 2,000 times 36% comes out to $720. So this person could only afford a home that they could make the payments for $720 or less per month. So there is a formula on page 349 that actually uses this figure and tells you how much home you can afford. And the formula says maximum loan, you need to add this to your sheet too. Maximum loan is equal to the monthly payment you can afford, which is what we just figured at the top, divided by the table 3 entry, table 7.3 entry, times 1,000. Okay, so we need to take a look at that and see what it does for our little $720 that we've talked about. So let's say you've gone to the bank and you know that you're going to be able to get a loan for 8.5% interest and you're going to pay on it for 30 years. You would go to the table, and the bank would have a table like this on page 347. That's our table. And you would look for 8.5% interest, and you would slide over to where it says 30 years, and you would see the figure 7.69. So in our formula, we would have the payment that we can afford, which we said was $720, divided by 7.69, which is the figure from the table, times 1,000. So we would take our calculator and we would do 720 divided by 7.69, hit enter. That would give us a number like 93.62808843, and then hit times 1,000. So we could afford a home that was $93,628.09 if we round. So this is how we would figure out the amount of the home that we could actually afford. And you would need to do this before you actually started looking at homes, because you would want to make sure that you were looking at homes that you could actually afford.